All right. Everybody's here? Ready? Say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Full house this week. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Glad you came yesterday. Yeah. What you said.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Support. Everybody support. Say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? All right. Celebrations.
Dr.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. We need to do roll call.
All right.
Okay, Reverend Matias here. Pastor Moody.
Present.
Dr. Randalls.
Present.
Mr. Ross.
Present.
Ms. Slade.
Present.
Dr. Felb.
Present.
Dr. Flores.
Present.
Mr. LeGrand.
Yes.
President Baker.
Yes.
Okay, we're all here.
All right. Celebrations.
Dr. Baker and members of the board, I'd like to ask Irma Lopez to come forward, please.
Good evening, Superintendent Neal, Dr. Baker, members of the board. We're here tonight to celebrate our Young Bankers Club, which is a partnership with Fifth Third Bank during our after-school loop program. This year, we're at Congress, Burton Elementary, Mulek, and Stocking. It's a 10-unit math lesson that is aligned with our national math standards for fifth grade. And with us is Patrick from Fifth Third. He is Senior Vice President.
Thank you, Irma.
Hello.
Thank you,
Evening.
Thank you, Board. Appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight to celebrate, financial empowerment with GRPS. But also to begin off, I want to announce to everyone in a formal sense that Fifth Third is both endorsing and sponsoring the bond issue coming up. Great cities have great schools, so we're honored to do that. It is something unique for us to do. With me tonight are, I provided a handout, and which summarizes really two major programs that we do with the GRPS. So the first is Teach Child to Save. Last year we did 47 presentations in about 10 schools within GRPS and saw 1,000 kids. We do that every spring, and you can read what we've done the last 3 years, and we'll continue to do that, and it's a really neat one-day little program that we do. Almost 50,000 kids we've reached with that over the years we've done it. And then we're now in our third year of the Young Bankers Club, which is really the I think, most exciting piece of our program. With me is Tim Haberling, and Tim is one of our YBC coordinators at Congress School, has been for 3 years. And then Anna Foster Smith is our YBC coordinator at Mulek.
Mulek, yeah.
And your second year?
Second year.
And I asked them to come here and to tell you a little bit about why they do it, what they've learned, and then answer any questions you might have for us. So, Tim?
Yeah, hello, good evening. Thanks for having us here. It's great to be here. And maybe just share just a little bit with you folks. Of course, this is nothing new for you. You're in education. Banking, we're kind of in that too, actually, to be honest with you. But yeah, my third year, first year at Congress, spent 2 years with this program at Campus Elementary, just right here. But just a complete joy, really, in providing some education for these students, for these young folks. Really, for me, it's a case of, God has blessed me with an education, with a career, a tremendous career with the bank, and for me to just play a part in being a positive role model for these students, providing some education for them, hopefully providing some lifelong tools, education that they can use as they mature and grow into adults, and give them a sense of hope of what's out there, of what they can accomplish and what they can do. It's just real tremendous, and I'm honored just to be a part of it, and it's a true joy just really to work with them. Yeah.
I ditto what he just said. My name is Anna Foster Smith. I did Mulek. I am at Mulek this year, and I did Brookside last year. And it was my first time doing Brookside. And I've never done this before. I've done the Teach to Save. This is going to be my fourth year. I think we've done this going on 4 years now. So this is my fourth year doing this for the Teach to Save. What I can tell you about what I've learned and what this is so amazing. These little people are becoming their own individual, own person. And when you go to the school and they actually get something or they're learning something and their facial expressions, it's amazing. It really is. It's like it just takes your breath away. Because if I can give something to one child to learn just one thing, I've done something amazing. And if I can give that to one child, and just imagine how many people that we volunteer with Fifth Third that does it with all these children to help one child, it's well worth it to me. So I want to thank you for the opportunity and give us this chance to educate and promote and be a mentor to someone else, because that's what life's all about, isn't it? Giving to someone. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's right.
Comments? I have a question. Yes. Do the children have bank accounts?
Some do. Most don't. But their parents, we're educating them.
Okay.
Part of it is we have, they're doing parent classes as well, with banking and financial.
Yeah, so there is a parent night at each school as well, and we will try to have the parents open a minor savings account as well as one of the outcomes from that. I can look into that and find out how many of the kids do.
Yeah. So what's the age for opening up an account for a child?
Parent signature?
There's no,
Parent signature?
no minimum age. You have to be 16.
You have to be 16, but you can have someone have a signature, a parent.
A minor account, yeah.
And the reason why I asked that question, because I feel that it is important if you're going to talk about banking and teaching them about financing, that you're talking about saving. Help them open up a savings account and teach them whatever type of allowance that they get to bring their money and put it in that account.
It's really amazing. These students, as you can imagine, they take this material home with them, and we hear it over and over and over. Of, oh, I shared this with my mom, or I shared this with my grandparents, or my father, or what have you. And they want to learn more, and then we're able, even through the child as a conduit, able to get that information to the family too. But to your point, yeah. Absolutely.
I applaud what you're doing. You know, I think it's great.
That's right.
Every child knows what $1 is.
Absolutely.
Every child wants $1.
Yep.
So they want to know what they can do with that $1 and how they have to earn that $1.
Yeah.
And that's what they're learning from us.
And if you teach that child to put that $1 in that savings
Yes,
account.
that's what I tell them all the time.
Next one, yeah.
Written that down. We have graduation for this year's Young Bankers Club will be December 8th. So as that comes up, I'll be sure to remind everyone and see everyone who wants to come. We have it down at the bank. Maybe it's at the center this year. It's always a really neat event, and it celebrates their accomplishments. Church. Yes, is one of our keynotes. Thank you.
Well, I hope I don't call you out, Mr. Longerin, but something you said to me about 6 months ago about how you had no patience anymore for having people managing their poverty better with their money. Instead, you were driven to ensure that people could access the structures of money so that they could move out of poverty. And that was very powerful to me when you said that, and I see this as a significant part of that. So I'm really appreciative of the partnership and the leadership Fifth Third has had with GRPS.
Do you have other guests from Fifth Third?
We have other guests as well.
Yes.
These are young bakers here?
Great GRPS parent.
GRPS.
Part of the whole team that's fully engaged.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Baker.
All right. Public comment board agenda items, are there any?
There's none.
All right, moving on. Secretary's report.
All right. There's a couple things that are going on that we want to inform the public about. One is the School Choice Expo and Family Harvest Festival. It's October 22nd from 4 to 7 at City High School located at 1720 Plainfield Avenue Northeast. You can learn more about your choices of School of Choices, and then check out the expanded school themes and also centers of innovation. There'll be free dinner, giveaways, music, and fun fall games and activities. You can go to wearegr.com to get more information. Also, Lights On After School. The ELO office is holding its 2015 rally for after-school programs. Specifically, this will support the 16th annual Lights On After School on Thursday, October 22nd, from 4 p.m. at Rosa Parks Circle. So again, there's going to be art activities, student performances, and a DJ and free food. Same night as School Expo Choice, but again, we want to invite all those folks to that. Also, we really want to encourage parents to get involved with your PTCC. If you don't know what that is, that's Parent-Teacher Community Councils. That's where we can empower our parents to get locally involved in their schools. So we want to make sure to encourage parents that way as well. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Baker and members of the board. I'd like to ask John Himholt to come forward, please.
I was paying attention. I really was.
Dennis.
All right. Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Madam Superintendent. I'm here just to give a quick overview and update on the bond campaign. I know Dave Doyle's here tonight. He's going to be coming during the public comment to share more of the Vote Yes information. I'm here more to give an update on the informational side of the campaign. Between Teresa and I think we completed close to 116 public presentations. Just this last week, we were at I was at Eastgate Neighborhood, and I can't remember. They're all kind of coming together now. It's a kind of blur. But we have been very active in communicating the informational side of the campaign with the PowerPoint that you all have seen that we've shared with staff, students, parents, and the community. The We Are GR newspaper, which is the newspaper that goes out 4 times a year, will be hitting next week. That has a large section dedicated to the information sharing on this campaign. And then there will be a comprehensive Get Out the Vote. That's one thing. We can't say how to vote using taxpayer dollars, but we can encourage individuals to exercise their civic duty and get out and vote. And so you will see. We've also had, as part of our overall marketing and advertising, not only have we been talking about the School Choice Expo, we've been sharing the success story of the GRPS transformation plan, and then you can see we also encourage people to get out and vote. So from our television, radio, newsprint, direct mail, as well as communications that will be going out through the schools and the school newsletters about the importance of voting. That's everything. That's a full-scale kind of get out the vote informational effort between now and November 3rd. And I know David will get up and share the dynamic things that are happening on the campaign account during public comment.
Have you asked Dave to fill out a public comment card?
Dave, did you fill out a public comment card?
New process.
I have to get you a public comment card so that they know to call you.
I don't want to break any rules.
I bet. Yeah.
We'll go up, Mr. President, and make sure he has that public comment card.
Thank you. Yeah. So.
He's kind of like ex officio. He kind of has the Godfather status. So we figured that it's just a given. And that's all I had. Are there any questions?
Thank you, John.
We will have one more
I
board
would like to.
board meeting before the bond proposal. So
The Monday before. Yep.
Thank you, John. Dr. Baker and members of the board, I apologize. I would like to ask Irma West to come forward once again to talk about Lights On for the after-school program briefly. Thank you.
you were trying to sneak out of here, weren't you?
I was just walking out.
Sorry, just when John was talking about, I thought it might be good for you to express why it's important to participate since you're part of that. So.
Well, Lights On this year is on the 22nd. We will be having a celebration between 3 and 6 at Rosa Parks Circle, and the alternate site, in case it rains, will be at Coit Elementary. We will have our children performing. We have the strings group, which is string instruments, and we have a group from each of our providers, and that one would be from Campfire. We also have our YMCA. We have some students from UPrep will be performing as well, and they'll be doing a reading. And we also have a group from United Methodist who will be a choir singing a song for everybody there. It's important to come and support our after-school programs and funding to continue supporting our kids with academics and our health component, and also with our social emotional component. So please, if you can come out, that would be great. I don't know if Superintendent Neal will be speaking. So any questions about that? Okay.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
it's a big
Thank
part of
you.
our work, so.
Thank
thanks.
you. Dr. Baker.
All right, can I get a motion for the consent agenda grouping?
So moved.
Everybody, can you call the roll?
Yep. Reverend Matias, yes. Pastor Moody.
Yes.
Dr. Randalls.
Yes.
Mr. Ross.
Yes.
Ms. Slade.
Yes.
Dr. Felb.
Yes.
Dr. Flores.
Yes.
Mr. LeGrand. Yes. President Baker.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, discussion items. Actually, if, would be, maybe perhaps Dr. Falb or John can talk about the next item, which is the NSBA Advocacy Institute, and formerly the FRN Conference. So just why that would be important for, we get a chance to go with other school board members from the county, and it's been important, and I'd like to just see, we should have a couple of us going, and we'll need to discuss who that will be, but if we could talk about why it's significant to go.
Yeah, I can talk about it as board member. It's, first of all, as you already mentioned, Dr. Baker, it's very valuable to get to know people within our delegation and connect with them, and I know Ms. Slade has done that, so you have a sense of commonality based on our locality and our educational needs, and you get to meet with our local representatives, and it's also really good to connect on the national level to understand what federal issues are at regarding school policy. So they do an excellent job of summarizing and presenting to you what the federal level issues are regarding policy for K-12 education and what we need to advocate for.
Yeah, I think it's really important if, for each board member to get a chance to go at least once. I'd love to go, but I want to make sure that if people who haven't not gone would like to go, because I think it really helps with us understanding the overall scope of our work. So anyway, can we, if people look at their calendars and think about it, and maybe at the next board meeting, discuss who might go? Do you have any thoughts?
We usually have some funding from the end of the week. So we need to follow up on that, and I have a meeting on Wednesday morning with that group, and so I will check.
And we also have our budget for conference attendance, so we can check and see what that looks like as well. So who has gone to the, so Nate's gone. Did you go to FRN, to DC?
I don't think so.
You'd remember.
I went.
Yes.
Oh, that's right, you went.
Reverend Matias and Pastor Moody have gone, and I have
Bernard,
gone.
have you?
I would like to go again.
Right, you haven't gone, okay. Well, think about it, and then we can decide who would like to go at the next one.
How many can go?
Huh?
How many can go?
I think it's 4.
Well, we'd have to, I guess is,
I mean, if you want to.
2 to 4, but
4.
probably.
Yeah.
So, I guess we probably aren't allowed to take 5. That would be a quorum, we could. So, all right. Okay, public comment or any items, agenda or not
Okay.
agenda.
We have Louise Wilson.
Ooh, I don't see it.
She was in the back.
Okay. And then Dave Doyle.
Please state your name for the record, thanks.
And you'll have 3 minutes.
3 minutes, I get that, thank you.
We'll give you a warning too, in case.
Mr. Superintendent, Madam Chair, members of the board, my name is David Doyle. I live at 2357 Academy Drive in Grand Rapids, and I chair the Friends of GRPS, the organization that is promoting the Yes campaign for the bond. And my purpose here is to give you a quick update of where we are from my perspective as the person who is responsible for running this organization. When we started our campaign, we based it on the idea that what you folks have done is having an effect in the community as leaders. So the theme of our campaign is leadership that works. And to that extent, we have gone out and done a number of things, and I know one of the ways of getting feedback on this is always what's on the street and what you read and so forth. And so far, I have to say that things are going exceedingly well. It's hard to come up with reasons that people have to not support this, really. And I understand that we have issues that some won't, but by and large, the response for this has been exceptional. The Grand Rapids Press, I'm sure you all saw their editorial on why we should vote on this. The Grand Rapids needs a public school system befitting the city's rising reputation. Therefore, it is without reservation that we urge a yes vote on the bond proposal. I mean, that's pretty strong. Recently, we got an editorial from the Business Journal. Sustained GRPS improvement deserves community support. The Business Journal joins the Grand Rapids Area Chamber of Commerce and other business leaders in supporting the millage approval. The list of endorsements is impressive. I mean, I'm having to print them on two sides now, paper, because they're just getting to be so many. And that's a real good indication, too. I recognize they don't vote, but it is a real good indication of where people are at and how they feel. As John mentioned, there's been more than 116 presentations, and I think Teresa and John have done 115. I know I did one. I know that. And we have over 200 volunteers involved in this activity, working on the campaign. We've raised more than $50,000 to this point, which is another indication of the kind of support that people are willing to put their money in, which isn't tax deductible, to this effort. So we've raised over $50,000. We have 2 precinct captains assigned with our volunteers to each of the 88 precincts, and those are the people who are doing the coordinating of the distribution of literatures and so forth. We've hit 5,000 absentee voter doors, which is unusual, and I know Superintendent, and I know some of you have all been out walking, doing the same thing. So we've also gone to 12,000 homes of regular voters. We're going to have 500 yard signs in the city, and I want to be clear that we're not putting them all in. We're putting them where there's high turnout stuff, all right? And we're limited resources, 500 yard signs, a lot of signs. So I have some in the car, and I'm going to wait around, and if each one of you would like to take one, I'd be more than happy to give one to each of you. As you know, we were at the Pulaski and 4th of July parades and received very well in those things. We had 2 direct mail pieces go to absentee voters, and we had joint robocalls go to absentee voters. I believe Teresa and Board Member Slade did those. And we're going to have 2 more pieces of mail going out in the general election yet. We have a 11 by 17 flyer, and then we have a postcard. And robocalls to get out the boat, and we'll be walking the last weekend as well. We'll be hitting doors the weekend of the election. And at the end, I really want to offer my thanks to you and your staff at all levels who have given up their time on Saturdays in the evenings to walk and do this. And there have been a few complaints, but by and large, everybody has taken this task on. And I like to believe that I have a sense of the pulse of the public, and I think I still do. But right now, the pulse is strong for this bond campaign. We just have to make sure we get our vote out, and that's the next big effort. I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, David.
Superintendent's comments.
I would like to just take time to thank Winnie Brinks and all of our friends in Lansing. I know that they've taken a lot on the past few weeks, and they've listened to us. We held our legislative luncheon, and we explained how important it was for us to have additional time for our children so that we can close the gap on the third grade reading. And they listened. And that means a lot. That means a lot as a grandmother. That means a lot as a superintendent of the Grand Rapids Public Schools. And I'm sure for you all as board members, we represent so many children, and we have made a lot of changes. We will continue to do the right thing, but it's going to take us time, and so I appreciate people listening to us.
Thank you. Mr. Ross, board member comments.
No comment.
Paul?
No comment?
No comment.
Dr.
No
Reynolds?
comment.
No comment. Likewise.
Dr. Forrest?
I feel compelled to say something.
That's right. Say something.
No comment.
I have to say something. Just want to thank, since Mr. Doyle left, for his tireless advocacy for Grand Rapids Public Schools for decades. And also all that are helping to spread the information about the bond. So with that, I'll adjourn.
I just want to do it one time.